Think about your home for a second. It's your safe space, your sanctuary. But right under your feet and deep inside the walls, there's this entire hidden world, a network of pipes that is under constant attack. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and then cover this invisible war happening in your home.
So, what is it that's waging this silent war? I mean, we're not talking about burglars or termites. No, this threat is much more basic, much more elemental. It's the environment itself. And the thing is, it never, ever stops.
Exactly. Every house has what you could call a circulatory system, this whole world of pipes bringing fresh water in and taking waste out. And to really get a handle on this hidden battle, we're going to zoom in on one particular town where, believe me, the fight is intense.
And that brings us to Selma, Texas. Now, if you look at it on a map, it's this fast-growing community just outside of San Antonio. But underneath all that, its very specific local conditions have created, well, a perfect storm of plumbing challenges. That's what makes it the perfect case study for us to dig into.
Now, what's so wild about this place is how all these things work together. You've got this expansive clay soil that actually moves the ground your house is sitting on. The water is full of minerals. You've got these insane temperature swings. We're talking freezing one month and scorching the next. And because it's grown so fast, it's a mix of brand new and really old pipes. Any one of these is a headache, but all of them together, it's like a siege.
All right, let's meet the first bad guy in our story, the ground itself. Seriously, in a place like Selma, the earth isn't this solid, stable thing you build on. Oh no, it's an active, moving force that puts constant pressure on everything.
And this is the cycle of destruction it creates. See, when it's dry, that clay soil shrinks up, pulling away from the foundation and literally stretching the water and sewer lines taut. Then the rains come, and that same soil swells up like a giant sponge, pushing and squeezing those pipes from all sides. It's this relentless back and forth that bends, cracks, and eventually just breaks the lifelines of the house. All that stress, it often leads to what's called a slab leak. A leak in a pipe that's buried right under the concrete foundation of your home. The warning signs are super subtle, but they're serious. A weird warm spot on your floor, your water bill suddenly shooting through the roof for no reason, or, and this is the creepy one, hearing the sound of running water when you know for a fact everything is turned off. These are just the whispers of a much, much bigger problem. So you've got the ground attacking your pipes from the outside. But at the same time, there's another enemy attacking from the inside, the water itself. And this one is waging a war throughout your entire system. And this enemy has a name, hard water. All it really means is that the water has a ton of dissolved minerals in it, mostly calcium and magnesium. Sounds pretty harmless, right? But over time, trust me, those little minerals become a massive destructive force. The best way to think about it is like plumbing cholesterol. You can see it here. These minerals slowly build up on the inside of the pipes, creating this crusty scale that makes the opening smaller and smaller. A healthy pipe has this nice, clear path for water, but hard water just gradually chokes that path off, restricting the flow to your whole house. And you feel that impact everywhere. You notice your water pressure isn't what it used to be. Your faucets and shower heads get all clogged up with that white, crusty gunk. It's absolutely brutal on your appliances, especially water heaters. It just destroys them from the inside. And if you've got an older home with galvanized pipes, it speeds up the corrosion, basically rusting them out.
Okay, so you've got these two powerful forces constantly attacking your home from the outside and the inside. How in the world do you fight back? Well, this isn't a DIY job. This is where you need an expert counterattack. You have to fight these very specific threats with very specialized knowledge. And here's the absolute key: understanding the difference between a simple fix and a real professional diagnosis. A typical fix just slaps a patch on the symptom, the leak you can see. But a real expert, especially in a place like Selma, they diagnose the root cause, the shifting soil, the hard water. One is a Band-Aid, the other is a real lasting solution. And that expertise, it isn't just about having the right tools. It's about knowing the local battlefield. It means understanding Selma's very specific plumbing codes, things that demand special expansion tanks on water heaters to handle pressure changes, or that dictate the exact slope a drain pipe needs to have to work right. It's deep local knowledge. This is what it all comes down to. This is the key to winning the war. A real pro knows which neighborhoods have the worst soil issues. They know how to work with that mix of modern plastic pipes and old copper ones. They know how to navigate the city's permits, and maybe most importantly, they know which materials are actually tough enough to stand up to that corrosive hard water. This isn't just general knowledge, it's hyper-local intelligence.
So we've spent all this time in the trenches down in Selma, Texas, looking at its pretty unique set of problems. But what does all of this mean for you, wherever you're watching from?
Well, here's the big takeaway. Every single town, every single home has its own unique story. Its foundation, its plumbing, all its little weaknesses. They're all a product of its specific geography, its climate, and its history. You know, Selma has its moving clay soil and its hard water. What does your town have? Sandy soil, really cold winters, water that's more acidic? So the next time you turn on the sink or hear your water heater kick on, just take a second to think about that invisible world working away under your feet and in your walls. And then ask yourself this one last question. What invisible forces are shaping your home?